Hello, everybody. Welcome to Rock, Paper, Hand Grenades. I'm Matt Connerton.
Too slow.
And here is the Honorable Gary S. Hopper, struggling with technology.
I am struggling, trying to get everybody's last name down because I don't remember everybody's last name, and I screwed up. I'm not quick enough. Because I know Holly's last name is a weird one. Cekala. See, I couldn't remember. I got to Kelly, and I'm not typing quick enough. Kriss, I know because her husband has his hands the size of a gorilla.
And her last name's easy.
Yeah, Blevens. And then Holly Riley, who claims she's not Irish. But
that's Kelly Riley.
Kelly. What did I say?
Kelly Riley is a very Irish sounding name.
That's a wicked Irish sounding name.
The only way it'd be more Irish is if it were like
O'Malley.
Kelly McRiley or
Kelly
something.
O'Reilly. Then they would have named the song after you. The Who.
Yes. Oh, I love the Who.
My maiden name is McLaren.
Really?
McLaren. That's a little bit Irish. A wee bit Irish. A wee bit.
I'm Kriss from Sweden.
Sven, yes.
Swedish.
Hey, public announcement. Can't see that because it's too tiny.
Wow.
But if you get a parking, if you do the parking meter out on Elm Street, they print out a ticket. Keep there's a serrated thing right on the side.
Really?
If you're on a motorcycle, keep that.
Yes, you put it in where your handlebars are.
Yeah, I put it under my seat, but the thing is, on a motorcycle, there's nowhere to put it that somebody can't steal it.
Right.
So if you take this little tab or the receipt that's actually on there, you can theoretically prove that you had paid for parking.
No, after 6 you don't need to pay, right?
Or you give the other one to your friend, and you keep this, and if you get a ticket, you say, no, I paid.
I put it on my ape hangers.
It's just... Oh, really?
Yeah.
You got ape hangers?
Yeah, yep.
That always look so uncomfortable. Are they
It's not.
What is that?
They're way up here like this. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just like the the guy on the video you can see on YouTube, the little alien-looking guy with his sphincter hanging out there.
I can't say I've seen that, Gary.
And I hope my finger wasn't hanging out. It wasn't me.
I'm going to look that up right now. I'm going to go on YouTube.
No, it's called annoying.
Wait, what is this?
Type in like annoying motorcycle.
Definitely not what I expected.
No, that won't work.
Gary,
yeah,
you
probably.
always make us laugh.
I was going to say, I can't just do alien sphincter motorcycle or something.
You can try that.
I'll try it.
Yeah, try alien.
Let's see what happens when I type
We
in that.
digress. We digress.
I was going to be inappropriate earlier, but with the last name by injection.
I thought it was after 6 you didn't need to pay.
Oh no,
So
no!
I'm spending money right now.
And no, you can borrow this receipt to say
There you go.
Ah, see, handy dandy.
I think we just did something illegal, but I'm a reporter, so it's okay.
You're a politician.
And
You
we're
can-
caught on
reporter.
camera.
No, if you look this week, there was 2 reporters. One was on TV, and they bought an AR-15. They filmed it. She bought the AR-15. She brought it to the station to show how easy it was to get, and then explained she didn't buy it for herself. She bought it for her friend. If you fill out that form, it asks, is this a purchase for you alone? If you lie on that form, okay, that's up to 10 years in jail and $250,000 fine.
And she filmed it?
She filmed herself committing a felony.
And we're putting people with opiate bags in jail for 10 years?
Yeah, see, it makes sense.
Right.
So then there was another dirtbag reporter, liberal commie scum. Not to say there's anything bad about liberal commie scum, so I'm not trying to judge.
Yes.
So anyway, he...
Never, Gary.
No, I wouldn't
Never
do that.
from you.
I wouldn't do that. I'm a pretty open-minded guy. So he goes
Open-mouthed, open-minded.
He goes in to try to buy an AR-15 to show how horrible it is and evil it is and everything else. And he can't get one. You know why? Because he had been charged with beating the crap out of his wife. He was under, what do you call it, a restraining order or something like that.
Yeah.
Again, he falsified the document. Again, that's a 10 years, up to 10 years in jail. And
Should be 10 years in jail for beating your wife. How's that?
Oh, yeah.
God, you
You can
I
lie
totally
and get what you want.
No, my point is, if you're a liberal reporter, you can get away with anything you want. You just say, I'm just reporting, so it's all right.
By the way, Alien Motorcycles sphincter doesn't yield any results on YouTube. So, you know.
I'll have to post it later.
Okay, I'm all curious now.
Yeah, because it got the ape hanger. It's pretty.
Mine is more like boom, 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 boom. It's not
What do they call it?
boom, 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 boom.
I don't know.
I have pipes as well as ape hangers. So.
Oh, okay. Wow. She's bad to the bone. Bad to the bone. Anyway, that's not why I called you here today. We haven't had you guys on for a while. I think almost a year, right?
It's been about a year.
Now, and we've had you on before that. And originally, you were in basically Hope for Recovery was almost in a closet over on Canal Street.
Yeah, I remember we came out.
We were right down on 122 Market.
And then you
Canal
showed up on
corner.
our program. Next thing you know, things grew.
You got the rock, paper, and grenades bump?
You did. You did.
Yes.
Yeah. The rock, paper, and what did you say?
I think
I just said the name of the show and put bump after it.
I don't know.
bump.
I think it was just.
I'm just
it was
trying to
good
take.
timing.
I'm trying to take responsibility or
Well,
credit.
the recovery community
That's
is
what-
having a growth spurt. We can
Yes.
say that.
Growth spurt.
We
What's
are a
that?
revolution.
Yeah.
A
I actually think that the community had something to gravitate to.
Huh?
You know, I think everyone from the community had something to gravitate to and give something to, and that's why it's grown so much.
And a lot of hard work.
A lot of hard
A
work.
lot of hard work.
Yeah, but it's
Melissa-
a labor of love.
Watching Melissa Cruz, I remember going down there. She's so tired. That poor lady.
That's what concealers are.
I ran into a cotton picking state rep yesterday, and I won't mention their name, and their impression of the recovery community. Well, they're in it for the big bucks coming from the federal and state government. I
Oh
said,
yeah.
Yeah, really?
Oh,
Have you seen any of that?
I got really, really angry. I don't know who you're talking about, but the people I'm dealing with, referring to you guys, they're working on a shoestring budget out of the love of their fellow man, and that's it. What? What's
Yeah.
she?
She's
I
got
just
tape
was-
on her shoe.
Okay.
I was showing him my shoe that's duct taped on it. We have so much money, I had to duct tape my shoe.
Oh my!
Kelly, I was getting serious for a minute. I don't think you should be making jokes right now.
Sorry.
But you know, it's. I really do think that. I mean, we're still passing the hat at certain events, so that people that have a little bit longer in recovery can help those that get a little bit earlier in recovery.
Same way Alcoholics Anonymous works. People
mean,
pass the hat.
People
Every
really
penny
do
counts.
show up.
Every donation. We have people donating food to Amber's place.
Yep.
People are
Yeah.
eating that food, and if it wasn't for that donation, we'd be like raiding our own kitchen.
We
cabinets.
already have.
Well, we have.
We already have. We don't have anything cans
Yeah.
left.
I mean,
Exactly.
I think
So-
that's a good part.
So anyway, I'll go to Holly first. So back a little over a year ago, I had you on. You were talking about what was going on, because to me things are actually getting better. Because you could, like I said, your hard work and everything. What have you seen change in the last year or so?
So I think understanding has grown. Understanding of what recovery community centers are, what is our lane, what is the service that we provide. I think that's the understanding has definitely grown, and awareness is out there where you can go and get help in some of these places that we've grown to. Right, we were once just on Market Street in a small little space.
Closet in the back in the corner in the dark.
You know, well, you know, then we went to Central Street, and then we went to Newport, and then we opened in Concord, and then we opened Amber's Place, and hopefully on July 1st we'll open Claremont.
Claremont
And,
Wicked needs it.
that is, I tell you what though, the community there has found a space where they can collaborate to bring all this love together, right? It's awesome.
Doesn't take much.
It really doesn't. To give a space for love and understanding to grow, acceptance and help, it's a pretty good thing. And then we'll have dairy probably, you know, somewhere around mid-July, and then
Hoyt
hopefully
building.
the Hoyt building will come online
Now,
sometime.
what's going to be at the Hoyt building? Because I didn't understand. I thought that's what Amber's place was going to be, but I'm wrong.
Amber's Place is going to remain at 140 Central.
Okay.
And
Because the property is all set up. Everything's cleared with the city. There's sprinkler systems, industrial kitchen, bathrooms. everything we need, and the rent's, cheap. So why go and try and fit up something when it's working right where it is, and
Right.
it's already working there.
We're being fiscally responsible.
Why
Yes.
fix something that's not broken?
Yeah.
Exactly. So use what you have and be responsible about spending money you don't need to spend.
And it's right next to the fire station,
Yes,
Central Station, and part of the Safe Station program. So it's all just it's just all working well.
A
there.
great flow, and Serenity's
What-
right there as well.
That's
They
right.
we're centrally
Yeah.
located. It's very comfortable there.
Yeah.
The Hoyt building has
Yeah.
plans.
What-
The
what-
Community Recovery Center will be on the bottom floor, and that's right near the police station
Hope
and
for
Valley
Recover-
Street Jail.
So Hope for Recovery is going to be on the bottom of the Hoyt?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Front door open right in. There it is.
9,000 square foot center with a training room, meeting rooms.
Yeah, 'cause
Coffee
your
bar.
meeting rooms right now are good. You got that big room at Hope for Recovery right now for the main meeting.
Yep, some of the meetings top off at 85. would you
Yeah,
say, Cal?
yeah.
About
Wow.
85 people like attending some of the groups there. So it's really pretty phenomenal, but it requires space.
Of course.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You need a tub of coffee for that.
Yeah.
And we'd like it if there were 200 people
Yeah.
attending. So we
Right.
also want to be thinking forward as the recovery community grows, that the community center can accommodate everyone
Yeah.
that's seeking recovery and fellowship with other people that are in recovery.
Then we have Families in Transition, who's going to be taking some of the space over there. I think what their plans are is surrounding recovery housing for moms
Right.
and kids, single women.
So if somebody comes in that's just recovering, because that's a part of the problem, is by the time somebody needs help, everything in their life has basically, the entire underpinnings of their life have been of collapse.
Sometimes.
They possibly don't have a home, even a place to live. They, they don't have a place.
That's
they've
true,
got-
but I think
Not always.
I
Not
think
always.
that I think that's true in some instances, but we're seeing people put their hand up for help that do have family to live with, that do have a job, that do have have been dealing with their life even in the chaos that is there. Not
don't
everyone
wanna
loses
lose it.
everything, right?
Yeah.
And realize
Trying
that
not to hit rock bottom.
they're
Yeah.
struggling.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I think that's an adage that we gravitate to. You have to hit rock bottom to get better. But that's like saying,
It's
well,
not
you have to
always
wait
true.
for the cancer to metastasize before we'll treat you.
Right.
Right.
No,
yeah.
that's ridiculous.
Right.
No,
Okay,
it's
you got
only-
a great, you got a job. Let's help you keep it.
Right.
That's only under Obamacare they have to do that.
But the other thing that's happening at the Hoyt Building with Families in Transition is Families in Transition isn't just housing. They have an intensive outpatient program. So it's like, day program for recovery. And that works for some people, integrating with living at home, family life, or being able to work a job and get into their recovery. Like, not everybody needs to go into medical detox and treatment for 30 days. Some people can ease in with an intensive outpatient
Yeah.
program and be very, very successful.
If-
So that'll be there.
Well, to me, the only real advantage of the 30-day program is that first week.
Right, and sometimes people figure that they don't even really need to go somewhere to get better. They
'Cause they
already
feel
got
better.
better at Amber's,
They get-
and then
they
they're
get
like,
their
wow, they'll
certificate
feel
that
great.
says they're all better now.
Yeah, yeah. And then they start right back into their life. They're not removed from their life for so long, and
Yeah.
we set them up with those supports that they need.
Right.
I mean, but this disorder, substance use disorder, requires an absolute continuum of care from initiating recovery, wherever that might start, and ongoing.
Yep.
So I think that is what we're all addressing, is where are those gaping holes in the continuum of care and how can we fill them? That's how Amber's Place came to be. That's the crisis piece of what we're doing. But the community center is, how can, once you get in recovery, or if you need an open door to start it, what are your options for staying here and growing in it and having an amazing, successful life?
Right.
A joyful life.
How is the safe station thing working out? Is that
Amazing.
working pretty
Phenomenal.
well?
Amazing.
Phenomenal. Yes.
I was just in Candia last night. Candia, not Candia, Auburn, and
Yeah.
they had a meeting over there. They want to start joining with us as well.
And last week I was meeting with Pelham, Salem, and Wyndham.
And then Bedford and
So
Goffstown
wanting
as
to
well.
wanting to offer a safe place for somebody to say, hey, can you give me a hand?
Right.
And I think that's pretty phenomenal of the firefighters and the EMTs that are really, really kind of one of the nucleus pieces.
Yeah.
And then, of course, not everyone that we pick up from Safe Station needs to go into Amber's Place, so we might set them up with other ancillary treatments or outpatient, or we might reintroduce them to their fellowship,
Right.
something that kept them sober for 10
That's
years
right.
before. Like,
Yeah.
it does work for a lot of people. So can we reconnect those people that did use that pathway that worked for them in a way that is meaningful to them in their recovery? So we are pretty good at figuring out what
And
we
it's
can
different
do to get
for
connect
everybody.
people.
Yeah.
I think what's so great about Safe Station is firefighters, there's somebody that are there to save lives, and there's somebody that we trust in our community.
Rescue me.
So, there's two types of people that will come to Safe Station. Somebody who says, I need help, and they walk in. And that's where recovery begins. The person has to say, I want help.
Right.
If that's not there, there's nothing anyone can do.
Right.
But the other thing that's happening is friends and family and loved ones now have some place to bring their loved ones, their friend, their daughter, their sister, their brother,
Yeah. Please help this
to bring in
person.
and say, can you help me help them?
Right.
And as long as that person's willing, they're going to be directed in the right direction. And Amber's Place, just in case anyone doesn't understand what it is, it's an emergency crisis respite. It's a 1 to 14 day stay. It's a catch net for people that really have no place to go where they'd be safe. And it's for the opiate addicted. It's a place where we can help with the coaches to figure out, what does this look like? It's time to take a deep breath.
Right.
Now, if somebody comes in to Amber's Place, you guys, okay, that's a good place, that's a good fit. What do you have there for the to treat the withdrawals for the first few days?
So we don't.
Love.
We're not medical.
Duct tape?
We do not.
Duct tape.
No, well, that's
On my
No, it's
shoe,
just my
Gary.
own theory.
But basically, we don't prescribe meds, administer medicines, nothing. So a lot of what we do is connect people to primary care providers. CMC Homeless Outreach Clinic is a huge supporter of the program. They've been very helpful getting people to that place where they could be seen by the doctor, be assessed, and possibly given comfort meds. Or
for the
we can connect them to
Because the
outside
comfort
providers.
meds only really should be for 3-4 days, just
Yeah, about,
just to get.
well, 3 to 5 days.
Yeah,
something
just
like
to
that.
get through the really tough part. What we've heard said is that, with opiate withdrawal, you're not going to die from it, but you're going to feel like you want to.
Right.
And it's very painful. And
Well,
it is
I'm telling you,
horrific.
personally, It's horrific.
It's
Yeah, that-
horrific.
I've heard you
It's-
say that, Gary, that it's different from alcohol detox.
Yeah,
because
alcohol withdrawal will kill you.
can actually
Yeah.
kill
Right,
you.
which
yeah.
is why
Heroin
we
addiction
can't
just makes you
have
want to
anyone
die.
in
Well,
that
that's
situation
quite
necessarily.
frankly, withdrawal from opiates could possibly be the reason why you're dead too. Because
Yeah.
if you survive an overdose and you're taken to the hospital and you leave against a doctor's order and you've been Narcaned, so you're in immediate serious withdrawal, and you go ahead and use again.
Narcan
That
doesn't
can
remove.
rebind.
Narcan doesn't remove the desire.
Well, it
No.
pushes it off the receptor, but it can rebind. So then, if you use again, so quite frankly, opiate withdrawal could do that. It
right,
could
right,
cause
right.
you to
Yeah, it
die.
could lead to that.
Yeah.
But the insurance providers and the medical association are saying, okay, well, if you're in a safe space and you're not using again, the withdrawal is not going to,
Right.
Right.
crash
And-
your internal organs, right?
And that's what
So-
Amber's Place is all about. So people are medically cleared before they
Yeah.
come to Amber's Place, and that
Oh,
is
okay.
an absolute must. We need to know that, all
And
of,
we can't board people that are detoxing from alcohol or benzodiazepines because the risk is just too high.
Right.
And our insurers would kill us.
Yeah.
You know what I
We're
mean?
not equipped
So-
for that.
Right.
And that's something that I think is worthy of some serious conversation is if we're going to reach out and help people with substance use disorder, we need to be able to offer immediate help for all people suffering with all substances.
Yeah, because as much as
this is
heroin
something
is
that-
getting most of the attention these days, alcoholism is still killing more people than
Yeah.
heroin.
So some of the things that we might see people walking into the center that do have problems with alcohol, benzodiazepines, or other addictions
What is
like dancing.
benzodiazepine?
So like lorazepam, Xanax, Ativan.
All those
'cause
things,
Klonopin.
right? Mellow.
I'll hear someone say
pills.
benzos, so that's what they mean. that-
Benzodiazepine.
Is it like a
It's
speed or is
family.
it
No,
a
it's more like a
anti-anxiety.
relaxer.
Valium.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, Valium.
Yeah.
There you go.
I get
The little blue pill.
To that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because back in this is horrible. Back in the 70s,
They used
okay,
to call them happy pills.
Mother's little helper.
Mother's
Yeah.
Little Helper,
Mother's
exactly.
Little
Back
Helper.
in the 70s, I was an anxious kid. I was having a hard time concentrating because I'm a little bit scatterbrained. I like it that way, but it wasn't helpful in school.
Yeah.
They didn't like you like that,
They
so they
didn't
said,
like
"Let's
me.
medicate him."
Yeah, let's medicate him. So they put me on Valium because in the 70s, if you go back and look at the doctor's books, it was non-addictive.
Yeah.
So I was up to 70
They
milligrams
did
a
that
day.
in the 80s and in the 90s, and now they're doing it again. It's not addictive. Don't worry.
Yeah, don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry. Be
They
happy.
didn't have a crystal ball.
My
So,
mother told me to question everything.
Oh,
well,
So
I know,
do.
but I was just a kid. So, anyways, up to 70 milligrams a day, and then they put me in the hospital because they didn't know what was going on with me. I didn't sleep for 2 or 3 days. Went into a seizure. Right.
Yeah.
So obviously I've got epilepsy. So they put me on Dilantin.
Yeah.
And I get out of there and I go, wow. And it's weird because of all of addictions, typically people have the desire to go back. I've been angry at Valium ever since.
Just because you have a physical dependence doesn't mean you have an addiction. Having a physical dependence to something doesn't mean you're addicted. You're physically dependent. So addiction is more of
The mental
I'm going
part
to
of
call
it.
Yeah.
it more of a psychological
Yeah.
piece to it. And then you have the physical dependence. So there's a lot of different moving parts to somebody that is physically
I
addicted
used to have a lot more
opiates,
moving parts.
Or
Oh, we
you
all
know,
get older, Gary.
there's a lot of different things.
There's a lot of
and that's what the
components, yeah.
clinicians and doctors are pretty good at. Like doctors deal with physical dependence,
Yep.
and clinicians really good at dealing with the kind of getting the mind to where it needs to be to initiate. And then recovery coaches are really good at helping keep that motivation, cheerleading you on to the next day to get that next day in and be in recovery and stay in recovery.
And there's the dimming of the spirit too. I mean, that's the thing dealing with people is like, if you really look in their eye, you can see that there's a vital, beautiful soul still in there. But what the addiction does is it just takes over and clouds over that gift, of life. So there's that spirit end of it too, that it's like there's nothing more beautiful than seeing somebody come into Amber's place and a week later they're still there, we're working out, and where are they going,
Yeah,
but
I
a
think
week later their light is on, their eyes are shining, they're feeling like they haven't felt in so long, and it's like they're getting their self back.
I've been working with a kid, and it is horrible because the addiction has got him so convinced that he is the worst person on the planet. And every time he's just remorseful all the time.
Wow.
Send them
and
to
it's-
me. Give me that kid. You know?
I will.
Yeah.
Kelly, before we run
Love
out of
him right
time,
back.
what have you? Because you've been there since as soon as
Since
I
the
was there,
beginning.
you were there.
Yeah,
So I don't know
yeah.
how long before, obviously. But what have you seen? How
I've
do you
seen a
see the
lot of
progress?
miracles. I've seen a lot of that point of the intervention when that person is just, they want help, but they're on that. Once they start that turnaround, they start to feel better, and they say, I think I got this. I got this. And they have all these other people coming in and saying, they all kind of
do it.
pull for each other and say, you got it, man. And when, as well as when somebody decides they're gonna leave, I'm out of here, I'm leaving here, and they make that wonderful decision. They all kind of group together and they say, "Don't leave, man. We love you." I've seen some really amazing human spirit, take over and see people's lives
it's
change.
The spirit of teamwork too that you can see in action.
Kelly usually goes, well, let's get you everything we can get you. Let's get you a physician, a sponsor, a priest, a pastor, a rabbi, and
some clothes.
These really cool yoga things, and some clothes. And how about let's get you some insurance? And so it's coming together to bring people everything they might need in those immediate things, and then setting them up for success rather than setting them up for nothing and failure.
But Kelly, compared to when you started, do you see a lot of improvement? Like,
Oh,
you feel
yeah,
like
well,
right? Because it seemed like at the beginning it was pretty tough going.
Yeah, it's
Well,
gotta
we
be
had-
discouraging at first.
In great mindsets, we had like, these cots, and it was a wonderful thing to put, a cot, and then people would be like closed up in the cot, and like they were like sitting on the cot, and it was just like, okay, we gotta
I
change
bought
that
those
a
on
little.
eBay. They weren't a good purchase.
And then as things like morphed a little bit, like we needed to separate some space because we always have people at different stages of withdrawal, like they really got to sleep. They're sick. They're
Yeah.
very, very sick. So we need to close off a little space over here and, let them sleep. And then you have these bright lights above, and we had to figure out ways so the lights aren't shining.
Is a
And
big deal.
and then integrating them, with other people out on the other side that, these big, huge meetings going on, and like people are just at like day 2, and last thing they want to do is like sit in a meeting where everybody's all pumped up, like, yeah, my life
Right.
is so great,
Right.
So letting people realize it's okay, it's okay to take your
Relax,
time,
take your
relax.
time.
And empowering someone to pick up the phone and show them how to use that phone and make that phone call, because they're scared. They don't, they have been rejected by everyone in their life, and when they start to make a call and they'll say, I got a bed, and it's kind of like, at first I'm like, everybody's so happy about get beds around here, it kind of sounds funny, but they're like, I got in somewhere, woo, and they all
Right.
start cheering each other on.
Yeah.
I got a bed,
Now, how
I'm
many
going in 2
people would
days.
you guys, if you guys are able to find a bed someplace, let's say it's a 30-day program, how many of the people come back and get reintegrated into Hope for Recovery to make sure they don't lose that?
That's the plan.
That's it, we
I
have
would I would say so. 50% of the people that we're seeing at Amber's Place are from the region, and then another 50% are from statewide.
Oh,
Various
really? Yeah,
regions.
okay.
Wow.
So right now, that's what we're seeing at Safe Station and at, Holford, New Hampshire, Manchester. Of course, we've used the other centers like Concord and Newport to kind of allow other people to use this service
Yeah.
as well.
Right.
We've taken people from Lebanon and
yeah.
Littleton and Berlin as
So
far
a
as
lot of people
that.
from up north, huh?
Yeah.
Is it because there's a lack of resources up
It's
there?
a statewide
Yes.
problem.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but so I think that the ones that are from this region do come back. They come back and volunteer. I mean,
That's great.
not to disclose who's doing it, but we've seen a lot of great people come back and get their give back on.
Oh, that's great.
They
And that's
say-
awesome.
Wow.
So exciting.
That's really cool.
They say this place saved my life, man. I love this place,
Yeah.
man. This place saved my life, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we say to them, no, you see,
you're
July.
right.
Yeah,
Right.
you
And
made a
we're really
choice.
happy you're here to help out.
Yeah.
And we've all 3 of us have lost very close family members to overdose. And so, it would be a disservice if we didn't talk about the families out there that are suffering after loss, but also all the families and friends that know that like their loved one is like a time bomb because they're using.
Yeah.
And, just to say, we're all there, we're all here
Yeah.
at Hope to welcome anybody that is being affected by this disorder as well.
Yeah.
To come and get the help and support that they need.
You actually have help for people like families, because I know a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
these meetings I've gone to with Kriss, the EMT, Kriss, whatever his name
Hickey.
is.
Hickey,
Yep.
Chris Hickey. Yep.
Awesome guy.
We
Oh,
love
yeah.
Chris Iggy.
He's an
Doing
awesome
great
guy.
things in our city.
And I've gone to some of his, at least one of his presentations, and the people that get up and say, "I lost my daughter, I lost my son," and they're devastated.
Yeah.
They're just
Devastated.
You don't just go
Devastated.
back to work after losing a child, but you are expected to go back and get back into your life and continue on in your life.
when that was your life.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah, it's.
So do you have services for them?
We
Like
have
their
family
groups?
liaison. We have groups for families. Kelly runs Smart Recovery for parents or family of friends.
Yep.
We
Integrated
connect
with-
people that we do faster groups too. Faster groups.
What's that mean?
The faster groups are
You don't eat?
families. No, not fasting.
Families
I don't
affected substance. I can never think of the whole acronym for it.
So-
Always.
Compassionate friends.
Yeah.
Grief group. I mean, there's
And grass.
Basically, we know everybody that's supporting families, and we can connect them
And we
to them.
connect them.
Because
We're-
sometimes it's hard to find these small groups that are making a big difference to the people that are attending.
Yeah.
I think
and,
it's
uh,
also wicked important to get these
resources.
people hooked up with somebody, because I will bet 9 out of 10 of them blame themselves.
Yeah.
Even though it's not their fault. I mean, somebody starts playing with that stuff and gets addicted,
Yeah.
that drug owns them
We're
until
definitely working with some of the national folks too. So like NACOA, National Coalition of Adult Children, you know,
Okay.
and they have this great
It's a lot of acronyms.
program.
you gotta
I
remember.
know.
What
I
the
know.
heck?
So basically, the family member group, national group, they have this wonderful program called Celebrate Families, and it's about addressing the whole family from 0 to 3, you know, to 14 to you know 22, to the mom, to the grandmother, and that's bringing the whole family together. They go out to workshops, and then they come back from the workshop, and they have dinner together. Like,
That's
how many
pretty cool.
problems were solved at a family dinner table years ago that we don't see that anymore because there's parents that are working 2 jobs, or there's single parent families, or
Times
they
have
don't
changed.
have that dinner table download
Right,
anymore
right.
because times have changed. So how do we bolster families that are out there that are unique nowadays? You know, we have different family makeups. You must spend time to download together. How can we address these problems collectively at home?
Right.
So those are some of the groups that are really helpful for families. Faster, Grasp, you know, the Celebrate Families is a really good thing. You
A
know,
lot of
the
times
Smart
we have
Recovery.
to separate the family too. Say if a family member brings somebody brings their kid in, okay, we got to separate them because usually mom or dad is so used to giving into the kid whatever that they
Right,
want. No, we're
right.
not even talking kids; we're
Enabling.
talking young adults. You know that
Yeah.
they have their parents. Their parents have worked so much and just gave. They don't know how to say no to their kids. So. No, you cannot pick them up here. They need to stay here for
Right,
so
right.
long, you know?
Okay, wait a second,
No,
wait,
giving
wait
them
a second.
cash isn't a good idea.
Right, right.
Right.
It's called annoying thing. An annoying thing. Look it up.
What am I?
An
Annoying thing?
annoying thing.
An annoying thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, teaching the parents a little bit
love
as
me.
well is a good thing.
Sorry.
Yeah. Healthy boundaries.
Yeah.
How not to enable.
So you, young lady,
Yes. Thank you. I have a birthday coming up. Thank you.
do?
I'll take that one.
Gary's very smooth with the ladies.
Smooth.
I am. I'm wicked good.
Wicked.
Wicked
Pisser.
awesome.
Good.
Wicked awesome with the ladies. So
Yeah, like hot caramel.
at the opening of Amber's place,
Yes.
you confided in me that basically at that point in time, you open up the grand opening of Amber's place.
Mm-hmm.
You're on a shoestring budget.
Yes.
You said we have about 2 weeks, I think,
Yep.
of money left. We can run for 2 weeks.
Yep.
But I'm doing it on faith.
Yes. Because
Please persevere.
And I'm
We-
saying that for
Yeah.
that state rep that might be watching,
Right.
or any state rep that thinks that this is like this great money-making idea people are
No.
doing. So
It
anyway, so
was,
you had you had basically just enough to keep.
I was
Squeak
fundraising
by.
on my Facebook page and, you know, reaching out to the community that I love so much, asking for support, and they were coming through one miracle at a time. And still to this point, that's how Amber's Place has been sustained for 16, 17 weeks now. Entirely grateful to the City of Manchester, the Board of Aldermen, Mayor Gatsis,
Yeah.
for the $100,000 that is being given for sustainability for Amber's Place.
That's great.
And the
Is that
state
annual?
is
Is that going to
helping
be
us
an
too.
annual
This
budget or
is
just
just
one time?
for right now, and you know what?
And this is
we
hopefully
don't.
to help us find
if-
that sustainability.
If we're
Yeah.
living week to week right now, we certainly don't need to worry about next year. A year from now, I can't even imagine where all of our programs will be. My heart tells me it's going to be an amazing thing. But it's about what are we doing today? And it's about staying connected to the community and to the mission. And in doing that, every day, every week to week, all these miracles have been happening. And I call them that, but they're miracles of our community coming together, unifying, collaborating. And this is what happens when community comes together, is amazing things happen. And Amber's Place was but a dream, and now it is an incredible reality that is making a huge difference.
How many people have you?
Oh, God.
Over 200 now.
Yeah, we're
Wow.
over
We're over 200.
since
You-
March.
And I have goosebumps right now. So,
Since March.
you know,
Did you mean the annoying thing?
Yeah, the annoying thing.
There's a video, a YouTube video. Is that what
Right,
you're
do
talking
it.
about?
Yeah, yeah,
Can
yeah.
I play it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me make sure the volume is up here.
Squirrel. Squirrel.
It's gonna take a second to load
it's
up
okay.
here.
We're comfortable with squirrels.
How about when somebody just pulls up out front, you know, like, oh, like we just want to donate some
There it goes,
coffee,
there it
some
goes.
creamers.
Wait, you guys
It's
show the
amazing.
girls.
Some sugar. Here's some
Sugar.
oodles and yeah, give me some sugar,
Give
sugar.
us some sugar.
Oh.
That's how we feel most days, right there. Like a Martian.
Wait. Is he doing it? Is he doing it? Yeah.
Here we go. Taking off.
That's how we start our day, isn't it?
It's like annoying. Have you seen Annoying Orange? The Annoying Orange.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
All right.
Wow,
That's
that was just so random, but we like that. That's
No, it's just I think a lot of people watch the show for the culture because I'm kind of
That's
highbrow.
true, yeah. Yeah,
So
we're
I
trying to
just
get on PBS.
And a lot of people watch this show.
Right.
The Malaysians.
Malaysians
love
love
us. Yes. We're huge in Malaysia.
Yeah.
That's because the people are very small.
They're trying to learn a different language. That's why. That's
Right.
very
Yes.
interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. That's why they watch this because they don't want to learn English
Right.
the
They
right
might.
way.
You articulate so well,
I'm
Gary.
wicked articulate.
Like, why
I'm
would-
wicked articulate.
Let's-
You
Let's
kidding me?
talk about money one more time because
Okay.
I'll tell you one thing. The
Yep.
greatest joy I've seen is people in the community putting together fundraisers and holding events to raise money. Everybody's like, how can we help? How can we help? Everyone wants to come volunteer. But the best thing to do is to volunteer, to have some kind of great celebration
Spaghetti dinner
and
or
help
something.
us. Yeah.
Oh, you know what's really cool? I don't know how to organize it, but I know because the fundraisers where you walk a mile and stuff like that are actually not that popular anymore. But the real popular ones are like if
Pancake
you did like
breakfast.
mountain biking, like in other words,
Oh,
a real
neat.
weird trail that you have to do. Because the young people will get
Or
into
hiking
that
a
because
mountain.
a challenge or hiking
Oh,
a
Gary,
mountain.
I'd love to see a Recovery X Games, okay? So
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
that.
that's an
Exactly.
interesting idea.
if they would
actually.
come out in all their cross fitness awesomeness, then by all
That'd be
means.
great.
It's a good idea.
But Holly,
is actually
Holly and
a really
I are
good
going to
idea.
be having a pet pageant.
Pet pageant.
Yeah.
Wow.
And pet parade
Because
down Elm
pets
Street.
are affected by addiction too.
That is absolutely true. I never
We've
really,
had a few
I've never
placements.
considered that. Yeah.
We
What
had
happens
to
to
get
'em,
treatment
yeah.
for
The
a couple of
whole-
pooches.
No kidding. Really?
Addiction
Yeah.
has like such financial devastation, community devastation, family, animals, right? What happens if you're arrested or you're in treatment? What happens to
Or you pass
know,
you pass
your little
out for a
pooch.
day or
Right,
something,
yeah.
or you're too high and you don't go home, or you
or
know.
you forget to feed them, or you're not
Yeah.
taking care of them because you can't even take care of yourself, right?
Right.
You know what's that saying? Get a plant, let it live for a year, then get a dog,
Yeah.
then get a relationship.
I've never heard that saying.
Me.
Is that an actual saying?
Yeah, it's
I wish
Oh,
I
yeah.
had
It's
early
good
on in my
advice.
life, but that
it's
makes
good advice
sense.
for
I like
people
to
in
kill
early
plants.
recovery.
But the good news is recovery is all about
girls
a
say, I
new
think.
life,
Probably
new
must be,
energy,
yeah.
new possibilities. Recovery is the opposite of that. Every dream, every possibility can come true.
You told me something really cool at the what was the charity dinner we went to?
Hope, the Hope Hockey for Hope.
No, that's
No.
the charitable foundation.
Oh, the Charitable Foundation.
You were speaking
Yeah.
at the charitable
Right.
New
Didn't
Hampshire
she do a
charitable.
wicked awesome
She's
job?
wicked awesome.
Wicked. That's awesome.
That's only
Considering I had vertigo, and if I moved my
Oh,
head, I would have
no,
fallen
I
off the
know.
stage. I think I rocked it.
Truth telling 101.
But before the show, before you speaked it,
That's awesome.
that's the past tense of spoke.
Before I spoke did.
Speaked it.
Yeah.
Speaked it. Before you speaked it, you said that since Amber's place opened up, the number of deaths of kids dying on the streets have
Down.
Yeah.
way down, right?
Way down.
You got that like compared to like last year at the same.
Last month. The month before.
I know, but like that time
Oh,
period
yes.
compared to last year or the year before, what's the numbers?
Incredibly different.
Chris Hickey's got all of them.
Yeah, he does. But they drop drastically.
I think they dropped by like 25%.
Yep.
That's great.
That is
Wow.
It's
really
amazing,
good.
but
Yeah.
you
It's
pretty
know what it
amazing.
is,
Yeah.
and we were all the believers, of what Amber's place
we are.
could be. But the thing is, we live in a world where people need to see it before they believe in it, and they won't fund it till they see it,
Yeah,
and then
right.
they're like, "I'm on now because
Right,
it's doing
right.
good." But in the beginning, that's why we had to use our effort and our love and our compassion and our faith to pull together and believe in it before everyone else could see it. And that's exactly what happened with Amber's Place.
So this is like Microsoft, really.
This is good stuff.
We'll never get paid like Microsoft.
Right.
Okay.
I don't make a dime, and I don't ever want to, because I lost Amber to an overdose. That changed my life.
I bet. Yeah.
But taking her death and transforming it into something that is so beautiful and powerful for the future of our communities, our families, and heck, let's face it. If it's working in Manchester, it can work all over New Hampshire.
That's right.
It can work all over the country. My goal is to really take this template and, all eyes on New Hampshire. We might have the biggest problem, but if we come up with the biggest solution, and I believe that all together, unified, we're doing that, we're going to make a huge difference in this world
I
for
think
so
New
many
Hampshire's
people.
going to go from 50 to 2.
Right.
Because
I
New
believe in
Hampshire's
it. Let's do
these-
it.
these
Yeah, we got this.
doing it.
New
Nice.
Hampshire
Yeah.
My arms
communities-
aren't long enough. To,
Just
yeah.
like in Claremont, this community, like the minute they heard that there was a place to convene to really address this thing, like I couldn't believe the people that just came out. Let's take care of this.
Yeah.
They're hard-working, dedicated people here in New Hampshire. They just need a venue to put that into place.
Yep.
Sure, some people have to get paid because they have to feed their families. But when you take that and amplify it with all the volunteers coming out, you have a financially responsible solution.
Most of the work's done by volunteers. I mean, if you
Yes.
looked
A lot
at
of the work is done by volunteers.
right, yeah, but if you looked at the quantity of work done at Hope for Recovery,
Oh yeah.
how because I've been over there, and you got one guy doing this, and they're all volunteers.
I think we ascertained that less than 9 cents on a dollar goes to administrative or staffing
Wow.
issues. So
9 cents.
and the
That's
rest goes to
That's
direct
exactly
service.
how much money Hillary Clinton gets. That from the Clinton Foundation, and it's almost exactly the same amount that ends up going out to actually help somebody is 9%.
9 cents.
You know what
No.
I think is really
9%.
the-
It's 9 cents.
9
on a
cents.
dollar.
So it's
Right.
like the same thing, only reversed.
yeah.
Yes.
Same but
You know what's
different,
really
yeah.
interesting about the Community Recovery Center is we don't claim to have any of this mastered, but what we do have is listening ears and open hearts. It's the people that come into Claremont when all of a sudden a center opens, right? They tell us what we need to know to help the
Yeah.
community.
They show
we are
up, yeah.
learning as we go. We don't claim to be masters of this, but we're listening and our hearts are open to help people. And that right there is where the magic is in community recovery.
I think we're investors in a solution, but the community has to tell us what do they have to bring as an investment to the solution for their community. Like Claremont, you've got convening things like a family drop-in center where Kathy runs every single day, and it's an open door for any mom to come in, or dad or grandparent for that matter,
Yep.
to bring the kid in and have a safe
Why'd
place
you look
to
at me
stay.
when you said grandparent? What are you
I'm
trying
a
to say?
grandparent too. Don't
I'm
let the hair
becoming
dye
one.
fool you.
I'm going to be one.
She's gonna be one too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
She's,
I'm going to be
joining.
a glammy in December.
Oh,
Glammy.
really?
Uh-huh.
First time?
Glammy Kriss.
Glammy.
Yep.
Glammy, perfect.
Glammy.
I'm a nana.
Oh my god, that's too
What can I
funny.
say?
I would have been a vavoo.
A what?
A vavoo.
What's vavoo?
Portuguese
It's kinda
for
like
grandmother.
Portuguese.
Vavoo,
Ooh, I
vavoo.
like that.
I
Yeah.
thought we already established that you're Irish, regardless of what you tell us.
If you insist.
All right. What we say goes around here, right?
Pretty much.
right.
We're calling the shots.
Right.
Bottom line, life
We
is a
know.
gift.
It is.
And if anyone's gonna get into like what we do, it's not for there's no monetary payoff. Like we don't like we
No.
we like struggle and we have hard times as well. But we all group together. The payoff. So when a person comes back to you and says thank you, I mean that's
Or we have a
Huge.
guy that spent a couple of weeks at Amber's, got connected to some great clinicians and some good treatment, came back out, got a job, worked with us, had some recovery housing, and gets his first check, and he comes back and he's like, here's $20, I want to buy coffee.
nice. Yep.
Like,
Wow.
if that doesn't rip your heart out and tell you that when people,
you mean that figuratively?
well, believe me, I do this a lot. I stamp on it, like, oh my God, that's awesome. So, like, if that doesn't tell you that, people are grateful for being rescued from the disease,
Yeah.
and they need help to do it. And that right there, like that kid that came back and was like, here's $20. This kid hasn't had a paycheck in over like 2 years.
Right.
He's been sick every day of his life for 2 years.
He's
he
grateful.
gets a couple of months.
Yeah.
He gets a couple of months and he gets a job.
Yeah.
You
He's
guys
back
could
going,
start a
"Hey,"
cult.
You know?
And then you can really make some.
Oh yeah,
I
now
think
we're
it's like this.
talking.
Yeah.
I think we want
What?
to start a recovery culture, not a recovery culture.
That's kind of the same
culture.
thing.
You guys are missing.
That's good.
I like that. Yeah,
Because with a cult,
culture.
you're not allowed
Yeah.
to leave, whereas
Right.
with
Right.
recovery,
Yeah,
you're
we're like,
supposed
okay,
to-
it's 9 o'clock.
Right.
You gotta go.
It's not like the Hotel California then. No,
you,
not really.
You can come and leave, and then come back.
Right.
You know.
I think what we're trying to solve in our community is that terrorizing question of what do I do, where do I go, and what is out there to help, whether it's
Right.
for yourself or for somebody you love. And we have created a place where people can come and get those questions answered on demand
Right.
and receive the hope. Right?
And they don't have to be alone
Yeah.
while they make their decisions or they figure out what's going to work for them. Like, you don't have to be alone, man. This is not something you have to do by yourself.
I think I'm getting teary right now.
It's okay, because nothing grows
Let me
without
show
water,
you that
baby.
video again,
It's
huh?
Nothing
inspiring.
grows without water.
Yeah, we cry a lot.
It's
Yes.
beautiful. And, it's just, I think of Amber when she was alive and she was living on the streets, homeless here in Manchester by choice. When I did see her, her greatest joy was that she was on the streets trying to help other people. She just couldn't help herself.
Right.
Yeah.
And, this is her heart and her mission, Amber's Place, to help the sickest of the sick, to have a bridge to a life second to none. And it's awesome to see it really happening. It's a reality.
It is. That's one reason I wanted to have you guys on, because I just see things just. It's like
I
flourish.
think
It's like,
you were actually the first TV show Melissa and I did.
oh really?
Yes.
We get that a lot.
I did.
I was here with
You were one
Families
of the
in
first ones-
Transition.
Oh, yes,
And then
you
I
were.
was here also for political makeup talk from behind
Yeah,
the
I
scenes.
remember
Yes,
that was
yes.
This is my
yes.
third time sitting
Oh,
in here.
nice.
Whoa.
Third or
yeah.
fourth?
She's a
Because
Gary
it's all
Show
related,
alumni.
I feel like you've been on more.
She's
than
a regular.
It's makeup on a mission,
She's a
baby.
regular.
A
Yeah.
regular.
Makeup on a mission.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't know, Gary. I know that you've been tremendously supportive of all the recovery work that
Yes,
we've
thank
done.
you so much.
And that's why we're
It's
here
only
to
for
enjoy the
political
show
gain,
with you.
though.
I remember
Yeah,
we
he's got an
stood at
election
the
to win.
State
He got an
House. We
election to
went.
win.
You were at the State House.
Oh God.
What?
We stood at the State House
Yeah,
there,
yeah,
and
you did.
yeah, for hours, and we were like the last ones there, and it was just these terribly, very, very old people, and I don't think any of them could even hear us. They were way down around the
Well, a
corner.
lot of them are dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we stood there for a long time. We got to talk a
Aging?
little. Yeah, we aged a little bit ourselves, right? It was.
No, 'cause we can't really afford in New Hampshire. We've got like a low budget, so instead of just burying people, we put them in a suit. We put them in a chair up in the State House. It's not a great idea, you know.
Yeah.
You have to
and after
spray-
all that, they
I bet the
didn't even.
summer, warm weather has got to be rough.
Yeah, you gotta delouse them.
Yeah, that
The
was.
other thing we do that's really cool that you guys probably don't know is that in New Hampshire, because we also, we're pretty skinflints.
What's that mean?
Skinflint, cheap.
Oh.
Cheap, wicked cheap. Is we take a lot of the people that are like homeless and living on the streets, not the drug addicts necessarily, some of them too.
Yeah.
And what we do is, because a lot of the people is just depressed, they're down on themselves, they don't feel like they can accomplish anything. We put them in suits and we put them sit next to the dead people. And so they sit there, they feel important, and then they make decisions based on what the lobbyists tell them to do, and they feel good about themselves.
Well,
It's all about perspective.
Not that it's.
People are important.
I'll tell you what New Hampshire
Everybody's
does really great.
I'm
Coming from the
important, too.
perspective of somebody that's lived out of state.
Wait, say what?
I haven't hit one pothole since I've been
Yeah.
here.
Oh yeah, our roads are awesome.
The roads are awesome.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. The DMV, I've gone to the DMV and I like skip into that place joyfully. Okay.
Nothing.
It
No
is
wait.
the smoothest process. when I was living in Rhode Island, you pack a lunch. you pack the camper.
It's a day trip.
Because you are going to be there
I
all
know.
day, maybe 2 or 3 days after.
Oh no, yeah.
So let me tell you, New Hampshire joyfully skipped to the DMV.
Yeah, it's very efficient.
Because
I
it
get-
is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I've had
There's some
constituents.
things New Hampshire does great.
I absolutely agree. I've had constituents complain to me about, well, that DMV is pretty slow. I said,
What?
dude, you have no idea what
idea.
slow
Yeah.
is.
Vulcan transporter speed, as far as
Oh gosh, yeah.
it's high tech, man.
Yeah.
And
You can do
those
it online
ladies,
too.
They're the nicest people you ever want to talk to. I'm like,
They
oh my
love their
god,
jobs.
this is
It's
awesome.
good.
Yeah. I want to come back.
I know.
Yeah.
So yes, there's some things that they do really well, and some things we just need to invest a little more time in.
It's more
because-
education and understanding the importance.
Well, that's why you're on, is to try to educate people,
That's good.
because that's what I'm all about,
At
is
least
education.
for-
Hopefully
at.
today we're educating them where they can go. Right.
Right, exactly.
And you can
So
call.
anyway, before we run out of time, where do they call for Amber's Place or in Hope Recovery? Same number? What do we do?
So you can call Hope for New
Websites,
Hampshire.
everything. I need
You
everything
can call
right
Hope
now.
for New Hampshire at 603-935-7524. That's the main number.
Amber's Place doesn't have a phone number.
No.
Because you got to go through either Say Station or Hope to
But
get
we can't
there.
afford a separate phone
Yeah.
bill either yet.
Yeah,
Like
we don't
we're
have our
working
own
on
phone.
that.
We don't
Right.
have a phone.
Yeah.
But we
So
have
you can't
lot
call
of
Amber's
love.
Place directly, but you can call Hope for New Hampshire.
24/7.
24/7. Somebody's gonna pick up the phone.
You guys have somebody on call 24/7
Oh
now?
yeah.
We're open. There's
open
people there.
24/7.
Well, Hope
can't kick 'em
Recovery
out at
is?
night.
No, I know Amber's Place, but Hope
We're all
Recovery
So
is?
under
there
the
are
same
coaches
roof.
available 24/7.
No
Yeah.
way.
Now there are coaches available 24/7 via the phone.
Well, that's
and-
because when you guys were first on, it was like,
We've grown.
yeah, that's
We're
awesome.
answering the call of
Of the
people.
wild.
We're
It
meeting
is.
the needs
Yeah.
of the people.
It is kind
Yeah.
of wild.
Then we tame the wild and we.
I mean, but of course, like, there's some other great resources out there too. It's allowing people to have no wrong door,
Right.
And going out there and reaching out to the people and saying, hey, let's do this together. Claremont's a good example. Manchester is a great example. Newport together. Sullivan County's been a
Concord.
huge
You
supporter,
get
just
that-
like Manchester.
You got the place in Concord.
Yeah, Concord, right?
And all the treatment centers that we do have in New Hampshire are all working together with us. Like
They're
everything is
diligently
coming
trying
together.
To address the issues.
Yeah.
They don't get enough funding either.
No.
Okay.
But we're all working together. Farnham Center, Serenity Place, Phoenix House. We're knitting.
What's the one in Derry? Is that Phoenix House?
Granite.
that
That's
is,
granite. The
Granite
granite
House.
house.
Granite House.
Granite House. They're
Yeah.
pretty. They're pretty efficient.
They are
Oh,
pretty
yes.
efficient.
It is very inexpensive to
And
send
then
your
there's
kid there.
Green Mountain and the Friendship House
Yeah.
up in the North Country. So I mean,
Hampstead
there-
Hospital's been
Southern-
helpful.
Southern New
New Hampshire
Hampshire.
services.
like there's no stone unturned when
Okay.
it comes to connecting
After
people.
we get off
Keystone.
on
Yeah, Keystone.
on the Facebook, I posted that you were going to be on the show. For those people who don't know, on Facebook we got the Rock Paper Hand Grenades Facebook site. Could you guys post phone numbers so people can?
Absolutely.
Sure.
And I'll
Good
try.
idea.
I'll put a link
Yeah.
to Hope for Recovery.
And if you just remember the
I'll add the
Manchester.
website on your link.
And
Okay,
the
yeah,
easiest
yeah.
way to remember is any Manchester Fire Department, go if you need help. Just go.
There's
That's
12,
an
right.
awesome
Hours,
thing.
24
No
hours
questions
a
asked.
day.
And we'll
7
pick you
days
up.
a week, and
Yeah.
we'll come pick you up. Absolutely. If that's the only thing you remember, or dial 211 and you'll get connected.
And that's really a really, I mean, nationally speaking, there's nothing like it in the country, and obviously it's working because we've seen the reduction. So it's awesome.
We're working so hard we don't have time to be proud of it.
I know. But today we'll take. It's
Oh, wow. I never worked that hard. Kelly, thank you very much.
Hey.
Holly, thank you. Chris, always awesome to see you. See you guys next week.
Nice.
Thanks, Mary.
Thank
That was
you.
fun. Oh my god.